Alright, welcome back to another time trial episode of Crash 4. We are on the Eggipus dimension island, and the first level is Blast to the Past. This level didn't really give me a whole lot of trouble, but it didn't really seem like there was much room for error, so you pretty much have to just keep moving. I managed to get the platinum time, but just barely. I don't know how you could possibly do it 9 seconds faster for the Toys for Bob dev time, but it's clearly possible. I mean, I'm sure slide spinning and whatever else you can do to do it faster, you can do it, but I just barely got the platinum, and that's good enough for me. So, there's a lot of rail section in this game, in this level, which is why it's kind of, the time is pretty much as fast as it can really be. There's really no way to do it any faster, because there's very few. There's that first part, and then there's this side-scrolling part, and then there's the last part. So, I mean, I'm sure you could, there's ways to do this part faster, but this was the fastest I could do it, and I was happy with that. I did mess that up there, but it's whatever. So you get invincibility there if you haven't lost any masks yet, which is good, because then you can just pretty much run through this whole next section without using the Kapuna Law mask, which makes it very nice. Because otherwise you'd have to use that mask, and it would make this so much harder. So invincibility is a must there. I'm pretty sure it's intended to pick up the invincibility. So you're just going to clear your way through, get as far as you can. This is where the mask's going to run out, and then you should just be able to get these last couple boxes, double jump to the 3, and then get the 2 on the rail, and then ride the last rail. You're going to have to jump across there, and then jump to get that 1, and then jump back. There's just a couple boxes left, and the final 1 box right here. And then jump your way up the steps as quickly as possible, because the time is pretty tight. So there it is. Platinum Relic for Blast to the Past. Now the next level is Fossil Fueled, which is just the timeline, or it's not a timeline level, it is just the Cortex level on this island. It's not too bad either, but obviously with Cortex you don't have all the same moves, so you pretty much just have to move as quickly as possible. Use his dash as much as possible. Use his dash right here so you can get across that. Just blast these enemies so they can't attack you, and just keep moving. Dash across, break these boxes, dash across, break that box. You know, you just want to keep moving. When you're playing these alternate characters that can't do the triple spin and whatnot, you just have to keep yourself moving as much as possible. Don't take any hesitation, don't stop, just keep moving. The level is pretty much designed for it to work that way, so there's a pretty big skip you can do here, which I think is pretty important to do. So you need to do that, and then you're going to jump back across here, jump on the jelly enemy, jump on the 3 and dash across, then just bounce your way up. Don't get spit on. Turn him into jelly, break the 3, bounce up. Turn this guy into jelly, bounce across, dash, and you were all the way up already at 38 seconds. So get that mask, break that box, watch out for all the tentacles, there's a lot of them. There's some of the slide ones and some of the slappy ones. This part you just gotta turn them into solid, and then the last guy in the jelly, bounce and jump across. And we're at the home stretch pretty much here. This is the final little section. I just kind of took damage here because I don't know, it was just a lot going on. Blast these 1 boxes as quickly as you can. If you miss one, just keep going. The time's kind of tight, but as long as you keep moving, you shouldn't really have a problem here. I even messed up right there, and I still got it, so I was pretty far ahead of the ghost too. But you're going to dash across to get this 3, then you're going to drop down and dash in. Turn this guy into jelly, ignore the other guy, jump up to the arrow, hopefully on fluid motion, get the time box above, dash over, get those time boxes, get these time boxes, dash across, and get the last 2 time boxes with 1 shot hopefully, and then you should get the platinum relic. There wasn't too much wiggle room in any of these platinum times, in my opinion. I mean, I'm obviously not a professional at this game. I'm trying to get the platinum relics. So anyway, there's fossil fueled. Next is Dino Dash, and this level wasn't too bad, to be honest. Clearly, it's not nearly as bad as the timeline level. I'll get to that when we get to that level. So anyway, I kind of wait until that beetle turns his butt toward me so I don't have to worry about his horn, and then just spin your way across all of this. Get as many time boxes as possible. I like to jump on this here. I know there's probably a better way to do it, but that's just the way I do it. I know you could probably spin past it and then the TNT would trigger because of the box on top, but I just found it easier to do it that way. So this, you're just going to use Lolly Lolly and shift your phaser stuff in and out so you can collect all the time boxes and phase the mushrooms out. Make sure you get these boxes here. And then you'll get invincibility here, so it's kind of nice to have. You know, dinosaur chase, which this is the easier chase out of the three. Take advantage of being able to get that box over the mushrooms because you have invincibility, and just keep yourself spinning and moving. We come up to the timeline part right here, and then we have the first side-scrolling section of this level, which is pretty easy. Just don't hit the swamp bubbles like that. There's lots of masks on this level, so I wouldn't worry about losing your masks, to be honest, and they're not really going to help you that much on the dinosaur parts anyway, especially in this version of the level, because there's not a whole lot of stuff to hit in the dinosaur chase. But again, collect as many time boxes as possible, just keep spinning and jumping. You should know this level pretty well at this point, because you have obviously probably done everything else in the game if you're like me and save time trials for last. So once you get to these triple brontosaurus heads jump across, that's the end of that portion. Then this is probably the hardest portion of the level. You have these slide jumps you have to do underneath these things, and you can wait here. You have a lot more time in this version of the level than you do in the other version, so you can kind of take your time here. I messed that up real bad. Man, I'm surprised I got the time on this one. That's crazy. In the timeline version of this level, you cannot wait like that. You have to just go. It sucks. So anyway, again with these, don't double jump those platforms. You will die. It's just not possible to double jump them. They're not spaced far enough apart for it, and it just takes too much time. The dinosaur will catch you. So just trust your jumps and just jump. This is probably a tricky section right there, and then this is the final jump. Remember, don't double jump. If you double jump even once, that dinosaur will catch you. So that is it, and there is the platinum relic for Dino Dash. Now we do switch back to Crash here just because, I don't know, I know they have the same speed and everything, but for some reason Crash just feels faster to me. I don't know, and I know it's in my head. I just like it. And I also changed his skin because why not? So anyway, here's Rock Blocked. I added in this little clip in the beginning just because it's insane how close I was to this platinum relic, and I was trying this for hours over a period of like 2 days, and I thought this was the run. Like, I was breezing through this here. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the run. Like, I'm finally gonna finish this level. And just wait till you see my time at the end of this. It's insane how close I was. Like, I don't think you could possibly get closer without getting it. So I was doing pretty well here. There were a couple of hiccups I made, obviously back there on the slides. I could have done it a little bit faster. And I do get this 2 box, but on the next one where there's the 1, I skip it. This I could have done better too, but I was panicking because I hate that part with those TNT. I should have got that 1 crate right there. If I would have got that 1 crate, I would have finished this on this run. But look at this, 5/100th of a second off of the time. Like, completely unbelievable. Like, it's just insane. So anyway, now for the actual run that I was successful on, which was, I mean, it was obviously my best run because I beat the time, but I would say in all aspects, it was probably the best run I had done so far. So in the beginning of this, you pretty much have to break that barrier without breaking the spitty guy first. So this is the way I did this. I could never spin those boxes and not blow up the TNT, so I always bounced on the mask and then bounced on the TNT. Do as many single jumps here as possible. Don't use his vacuum, because it will allow you to get ahead of the ghost, and that'll just make you feel better in the long run. I like to jump over to the right dinosaur and just continue moving. The ghost obviously doesn't do that, but I couldn't do that part fast like the ghost did, so that's the way I did it. Here, you gotta jump across and wait for the third bubble, and then jump. Jump over this bubble, wait for this bubble, and then jump with the TNT, and then float over and break these 2 crates, then float over, get the second mask. We're gonna burn both of these masks, so you wanna hold on to both of them all the way across this. Try to do as many single jumps across as possible. Do not use your vacuum unless you have to. You're gonna break this TNT, and then you're gonna just burn a mask right there. Next, we're gonna float our way across, and then we're gonna break this TNT here. We're gonna break that wall with that TNT, and then float across until you land right on the arrows. That spitter won't hit you. And then we're gonna jump across here. We're gonna spin this too, and then we're gonna bounce our way across these boxes. Float, hold X here, float quickly, get that one, float again, and then float across here to the arrows and bounce your way up. Do another quick little float, and then that should be it. Okay, so here's the timeline cutscene, and then we are in the first side-scrolling section of this level, which is the easier of the two. Don't worry about getting this mask there. If you miss it, it's fine. Jump across these boxes, and then the next section, you're going to spin the boxes, because jumping on them takes too much time. So just trigger this last TNT and pick up this mask, and then slide under the vines and jump on the rail to do the grind section into the first dinosaur chase. Alright, so now we are in the first dinosaur chase in timeline level. You want to try to get as many of these boxes, the time boxes, as you can, especially those 2 threes right there. They are very important. There's your second mask here in this. Unless it would be your third if you didn't miss the first one, but it doesn't matter if you miss the first one because you get a third one right there. So this, you pretty much have to not stop moving, slide, and do not jump early. You need to let the slide animation completely play out before you jump, or you will not make it. You will fall in the lava because you'll hit your head on the rocks and you won't be able to jump. It's the worst part of the level. If you make it through there, you should be good. Just hopefully you know this part of the level pretty well and you can do this pretty well. There are some definite changes though in the time trial. Like coming up, there is a section where right here where there's 2 crates on TNT. You can't really spin through it, so you pretty much, you just gotta, I mean you can spin through it, just burn a mask, but that's what I would recommend doing. So anyway, make sure you grab that one just because, like I explained earlier, and then you should get the time. So we made it in 142 something, which was good enough, and it's not too far off the Toys for Bob time, but I could care less about that. I have no intentions of going for any Toys for Bob time because I just do not care. So anyway, that is the Eggipus dimension completed. I bring up the menu here to show all the check marks, and we will move on to the next island, which I believe is Bermudila's orbit. So that's going to be fun. So I'll see you then.